This is a certified
Bob Sponge 10.
classic.
Hey guys, we're back here with another tier list. It's been a minute. This time we're going to be doing King of the Hill. I just found this tier list. I didn't make it, but for some reason it's got no F tier, so D tier is the new F tier. Anyway, let's just get right into it. So first of all, we got Bill, and Bill, to me, is quite an epic gamer. Okay. You know, it's one thing to be rejected by women, it's another thing to be rejected by a woman that you already loved, that you've already had a relationship with. That is next level game ability. However, there was that one episode where Bill did, dress like a woman, which is I was gonna say a bit cringe. It's actually very cringe. Otherwise, without that episode, he'd be like B tier, but just for that, he's gonna drop down to C tier. And I'm being a bit. Anyway, we got Bobby, and Bobby is not a gamer. Now, you might be a bit surprised to hear me say that. Of course, Bobby's a gamer. How could he not be a gamer? Well, see, Bobby is actually more of a Sigma male, I would say. He asserts his attitude on the common man. He is so Sigma that he cares not what a wolf considers not the opinions of sheep. That is Bobby Hill. And plus, I was just thinking about this the other day. There was that one episode of King of the Hill where Bobby becomes a black comedian, and he beasts on a room full of minorities, which is so incredibly based and red-pilled that to not put him in S tier would be a complete travesty and a betrayal to all gamers. Now, another thing about Bobby is that he's a colonizer. Okay? He is a libertarian guy with an Asian wife. Okay? Khan Jr. is, I don't know. I mean, she's alright. She's no Veronica. She's no goth GameStop cashier. But she's no Stacy either, if you know what I'm saying. I think that the two of them tried to make it work, but they just could not. Connie just could not handle Bobby's supreme Aryan spirit, which, it's understandable. It's hard to do. But, yeah, I mean, that's just how it is sometimes. Next up, we got Boomhauer. And Boomhauer, to me, is a bit of a tragic character. He chases women to cope for the fact that he is in fact a lonely man. Perhaps in another life he was an epic gamer, similar to Bobby. But the difference is Bobby is such a Sigma male that he can overcome these feelings, whereas Boomhauer cannot. He can only escape and cope. But Boomhauer is still a very good character. I think he can. There was that one episode with Boomhauer and Bill where they they had a heart to heart, and Boomhauer was able to help Bill through that. You know, wait, no, it was the other way around. Bill helped Boomhauer with that, but that was a pretty epic moment. And you might be asking, why is Boomhauer so much higher than Bill if they shared that moment? Well, Boomhauer talks funny, and Bill dressed like a woman. So there you go. Cotton is an easy S tier for me. Not only is he a Sigma male, but he is also a white supremacist. It's crazy how much Bobby and Cotton have in common. Even though you would look at them on the surface and their personalities are nothing alike, they are both short and fat, and they both hate minorities and love Hitler. So it's an easy S tier for me with in terms of Cotton. And Hank is just a bit too much of a good goyim, or a unawakened Gentile, if you will, to see the fact that his dad and the truth. Hank cannot see the truth that Bobby and Cotton both see. That's why he always says, "That boy ain't right." And if his dad was his boy, he would say the same thing about him. Just a bit of food for thought there. Dale. Dale, to me, is a very good character. I would say he's definitely above Boomhauer. Dale is a bit like Bobby and Cotton in the sense that he cares not what others think of him. He does his own thing. He lives by his own rules. The difference between Dale and Bobby or Cotton is that while Dale it turns into a paranoid schizophrenic, Bobby and Cotton simply let it slide off their back. It simply does not even affect them. These horrible truths that they know to be true about our society, and the oppression that it has for gamers. That's too much for some people. It's too much for Dale, not too much for Bobby, not too much for Cotton. That's just what it is. Now we got Cotton's wife. To me, she is basically a non-character. She is going to go in the C tier. Yeah. Hank, it's tough, because while Hank is not awakened in the same way that Bobby and Cotton are, I think Hank is so essential to the show that it simply cannot exist without him. And I mean, I know that's easy to say because he's the main character, but Hank is the straight man. He does things the right way. He sells propane and propane accessories. He does it honorably. He does it well. But he sees these changes happening around him, and he's just this guy that's always been the same, and everybody tells him he's changed when in reality it's everything else that's changed around him. I think we all can relate to that. And despite Hank's simplistic views on things, he gets it right more often than the straw men that he encounters within the show. And I think it's tough to, you really just can't replace that. And plus his accent is easy to replicate, so it's easy to make memes. Bobby, if you don't quit wearing that Nazi uniform and wearing and making those Hyperborea fast wave edits. I'm gonna take away your PS4.
But Dad, don't you see the truth? They're coming for us. They're coming for the white race.
Bobby, that's just nonsense. Why in the world would Goldberg Sheckelstein ever come for the white race? You know he's a white man, right? He told us himself. Alright, anyway. John Redcorn. John Redcorn is an easy F tier. You know, as the man who is having sex with Dale's wife, you would think that John Redcorn would be a suave and charismatic fellow, and in the first couple of seasons, that's the case. But then you look a bit deeper, and in reality, he is hiding the same sort of insecurities that someone like Boomhauer is. But while Boomhauer is a good person despite these insecurities, John Redcorn just you know, becomes a bit of a tool. And I think the fact that Dale has no idea that Joseph is not his son is really the best way he could ever get back at John Redcorn. John Redcorn will never have Joseph care for him in the way that Dale does. And anyway, Joseph, I mean, he's fine. He's sort of a neutral character. I don't know. He doesn't really add much to the show himself. More so through his interactions with Connie and Bobby. You know, he's fine. Con, it would be very easy to put Con in the D, the honorary F tier, but Con, I think, is so important to the show that I can't do that. Con is the anti-Hank, in a sense, whereas Hank is, I think there are two anti-Hanks in the show. You've got Bobby / Cotton, who are two halves of the same person, and then you've got Con, which is the other version of the anti-Hank. Whereas Hank is humble, Con is narcissistic. Whereas Hank is reasonable, Con is rash, and the dichotomy between them is what really leads to some good episodes. So Con is going to be in the B tier just for that. Ladybird, I tell you, Con was right about one thing. Ladybird is a bit of a slut. She will, you know, put out for Con's dog. And, you know, that's just a bit cringe to me, personally. Luann's mom. What in the world was her name? I don't remember. She was terrible. I don't know why she's even on this tier list. I think she was only in like 2 episodes, but whatever. Anyway, Luann. You know, Luann is so representative of the youth of the southern United States. Okay. I think even more so now than she was back in the late 90s and early 2000s. As a man from Alabama, I've seen many Luanns in my day. She is one of these people who will like claim to be a righteous person, and perhaps she wants to be a righteous person, but her actions simply do not reflect that. And it's sad. You feel bad for her because she cannot stay on the straight and narrow in the way that perhaps she wants to, or certainly not in the way that she claims to. But it's just one of those things where it's like, where do you put her on this tier list? I don't know, because she's hot, but at the same time, I don't really like her that much. I mean, she is certainly the best waifu in the show, but that's not really saying much. Luann, I think, is gonna go in the B tier. B for boobies. Lucky. I was never much a fan of Lucky. But he ended up being a good thing for Luann, I think. And he was also voiced by Tom Petty, which is pretty cool. I like Tom Petty. So, even though I didn't really like him that much, he's going to go in the D tier. Alright, next up we got Min. And Min is just truly the worst. I mean, there's really nothing redeeming about her at all. So yeah, she's going to go in the F tier. I think that one's pretty easy. Nancy is also going to go in the F tier. She is quite gamer phobic with her behavior towards her husband, and she's a Chad sympathizer with her actions toward John Redcorn, and there's no room for that sort of hate on this channel. Ladybird, Ladybird doesn't belong among these heathens. Now Peggy is tough because Peggy, I think, is so similar to Min. That's why they can't get along. Hank and Con, they can't get along because they're so different. Min and Peggy are so similar. That's why they can't get along. But Peggy is going to go in the B tier for me because she is, she will at least learn a lesson sometimes, in the midst of her terrible behavior, whereas Min does not. And plus, she's Hank's wife, and I'm not going to disrespect Hank Hill like that. Yeah, Luann's going in A tier. She's pretty hot. But yeah, that's the tier list. King of the Hill is pretty epic. It's it's a pretty gamer friendly show. One of the more gamer friendly shows out there. Give it a watch. It's pretty epic. I already said that. But anyway, bye.